Hey guys, it's Mike here, and welcome to another video I'm bringing you today on Dragon Ball Z. And in this video, myself and my guest are going to talk about a very interesting topic which people have pondered about for a very long time now, and that is, can King Cold, the father of the evil tyrant and emperor of the universe Frieza, transform? But before we get started, allow me to introduce my very special guest on this topic today, and his name is...
Alrighty guys, it is QAAMAN here today.
Yeah, so basically what we're going to be talking about today is whether or not King Cold is actually able to transform into higher states of power. Because of course we know that Frieza, his son, showed that he was able to transform into all these different states when he was on Namek and then afterwards when he was revived. But what about King Cold himself? Is he able to do so? What do you think, QAAMAN?
Yes, and I base it off of two reasons really, Mike. I mean, although like a lot of people will say one thing where like, you know, and we have admitted, Mike, that King Cold's normal form, I guess, does look strikingly similar to Frieza's second form.
Yes.
And, you know, it was stated by Akira Toriyama that Frieza was born of his father alone, basically implying asexual reproduction, and obviously Frieza would have the same genes as him. So, in my opinion, I would think that, you know, if King Cold and, you know, bringing in the non-canon stuff, if Cooler could transform, I can't see why he can't. Now the question is the form he's in, his final form, is another question, but I'm almost certain he knows how to transform because of the genetics.
Yeah, and of course the thing is, a lot of people will say, because there is a comparison of King Cold's final form, or the form that we see him in, and Frieza's second form on Namek, the taller one with the horns, but even then King Cold's form is even taller and bigger than Frieza's. So the question is, you know, whether or not he's in that second form, or if it's his first form even, because King Cold is obviously much older than Frieza, so for all we know, the older they get, the bigger they get, and he could be in that weakest, most suppressed form that Frieza was in, so he could be even stronger. But, I mean, you know, why wouldn't he have used his transformations against Trunks? Why do you think that he did not transform when he was actually faced with an opponent who could kill him so easily?
Well, I think, Mike, it's kind of... The thing is, we don't, like I said before, maybe King Cold's final form, maybe the genetics aren't completely replicated, and maybe King Cold's final form is the form that he appears as. And the reason I'm saying this is because, you know, in the manga they were mentioning that there's two really big chi, and I would think that, you know, if Frieza got stronger in his mecha form, then you know, King Cold should be in his final form too, somewhat around him. You know, I couldn't see King Cold being that much stronger. So if we're going by that, then if we're just going strictly why he wouldn't transform if he had another transformation, I'd just say he's probably scared. But if you're going outside of the box, maybe he was already in his final form.
I mean, that is a strong possibility.
Yeah, because, Mike, you did point out yourself off the air that, you know, he seemed very, very intimidated by Trunks, right?
Yeah, because basically when he was faced with Trunks in front of him, you know, after Trunks killed Frieza, he immediately started saying, "Oh, you are clearly the strongest in the universe. Would you like to take Frieza's place as my new son and a part of my clan?" So it seemed like he was immediately admitting that he was weaker than Trunks, which kind of makes me wonder if he can transform or not. I mean, I also have to wonder if that is, you know, King Cold's final transformation, you know, what other kind of transformations would he have had that, you know, would be separate or different from Frieza's, because Frieza says that form, you know, the one without the horns or any of that stuff, the sleek one, is his true transformation. So why would King Cold not look like that and look more like the first or the second form that Frieza has if he's actually in his final transformation? Not to mention that the transformations are meant to suppress people rather than to make them stronger, aside from Golden Frieza, which is basically just a bulkier Frieza with a golden color to it. Why do you think that is?
Well, that's a good point. I mean, the whole Golden Frieza thing's weird because it kind of, and the same thing for like Frieza's like really metallic looking form, not his mecha Cooler form, but like that form that he used against Goku in you know, Cooler's Revenge, where he had like that thing over his mouth. and I'm sure you'd show an image for that, because because those two forms seem like they were kind of created like out of their own, like usage.
Yeah.
But like for King Cole, maybe he is just what he is. Maybe Mike, he could probably maximize his power in that form. Let's say, he just takes on that form and just like trained and just stayed in it. You know what I mean? Or maybe he's using it to suppress himself. It's kind of hard to say, don't you think?
Maybe the forms do nothing. Like maybe like for him, he doesn't need to transform. Like he just likes to stay in that form, and he has other transformations, but they literally make him they don't make him stronger at all. Like he could just put all of his energy in any form he wants to, and he just prefers that form. Although that brings up another point. Let's say that King Cole is in his second or first transformation. All right. How strong do you think that he could theoretically get just using, like, I don't know, math or multipliers or just your own kind of headcanon if he actually was into going to his true, full, final form that looks like Frieza's or whatever it happens to be?
Well, if we're going by that, that's very interesting because, like, if we're going with the assumption that he was in his second form, then that's telling me that if King Cole is already almost as strong as Mecha Frieza in his second form, then I'd say that Super Saiyan Goku and Trunks wouldn't stand a chance. Because, I mean, you gotta think about how strong Frieza got proportional, and I'm just using the proportions of Frieza compared to King Cole because we don't have anything else to base it on. So, I mean, you gotta say, let's say Frieza's... We've always guesstimated, Mike, that Frieza in his second form was a little bit over 1 million. So let's just say he's like at 1.1 million just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
If he's at 1 million in his second form, and when he was in his his final form he was at 120, that's telling me that King Cole by the very least is going to be able to multiply his power by 120 times if we're going with Frieza scaling, and he could probably even base it higher because he's stronger.
Yeah.
So that's telling me that I can't see, and think about this, Mike. If he's already almost as strong as Mecha Frieza in his second form, and he could get 120 times stronger, there's no way that Goku and Trunks could have stood a chance, because at the absolute max, Goku and Trunks are probably 2 or 3 times stronger than him.
Yeah, so I mean, like, that's something really to think about too. Like, if he actually could transform and he didn't, maybe he just got killed by Trunks before he was able to, and but like the thing is, like, he would be like 10 billion or something like that at that point. That'd be insane. That's like Super Saiyan 3 level Goku. I mean, that's crazy. But do you have any kind of final thoughts on this idea in general?
Well, I guess my final thoughts would be, if I were to conclude it, I would say that King Cole probably doesn't have another form, and I know this is a cheap reason. Yeah. But my reasoning is, Mike, is because of writing and the fact that, writers usually want to show you something, and if they're showing Trunks killing King Cole, then they're showing Trunks killing King Cole because they're trying to tell you that Trunks is stronger than King Cole and Frieza, which would basically be saying that King Cole, based off of writing, should not theoretically be able to transform. And also, it's just hard for me to believe, Mike, that if Frieza did say, more so alongside in the dub that, he was the strongest in the universe, and in the manga, it was stated that there are 2 really big chi, implying they're around the same. So, I mean, if King Cole's around the same as Frieza, I can't see him being 120 times what Frieza was. I just can't. It's just too much.
Exactly. And, I pretty much agree with you at the end of the day. I would like it if he could transform, but the thing is, he begged Trunks for his life, and, he, offered Trunks to become his son and the strongest in the universe, so... and he never actually did it. So all that stuff, in my opinion, just implies that he just can't. And it's just writing. I mean, if he can, he's in his final form like you suggested, but at the end of the day, I kind of feel like that's basically it.
Yeah.
So this has been another video that we've been bringing you today on Dragon Ball Z. Tell us your own thoughts down below. Do you agree with us or do you disagree? Do you think he actually could transform? Also, don't forget to check out QAAMAN'S channel down below. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as I always say, stick around. Because there's a lot more to come in the future.
And please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a giggity great day, guys.
Obviously, the King Cole can't transform. He would never be as muscular as me. That's why I never need to transform, you sissy.